Hi everyone, it's Mark here again. I'm the founder of the Arts and Culture Network, and we're currently over 140,000 strong now across our 8 LinkedIn groups, with up to 200 people applying to join our gang there every day, which is great, keeps me busy. But this is the best bit of the job for me. This is where I get to introduce one of our full members to you. So I'm delighted that Katie Rose has joined me today for our interview. Katie, thank you so much for being one of our full members and for agreeing to do this interview.
Oh, I'm just really honored and I'm so grateful to have found you on LinkedIn. It's just a wonderful service and connectivity and network that you're offering. So thank you for inviting me.
No, it's my superpower and my passion. My superpower seems to be connecting people, and my passion is music, arts, and culture. So what about yours? Tell us a little bit about the work that you do. Where are you based?
I'm based in London and I'm a singer and writer, and I have worked on, like many artists, had a very creative and non-linear type of career, but it's involved releasing music, creating my own albums, and leading choirs, including mass choral fundraising projects. I directed Sing for Water, which some people will know of. It's a big water aid fundraiser that happens annually in London. But that for me, and all the projects I've been involved with, whether they're very small projects, very large projects, they're all about supporting people to find the joy and magic and power of their voices. And I believe and know in my own lived experience that our voice is this incredible instrument that we have inside of us. And I'm all about supporting people to find that in whatever setting, whether it's a hospital, mental health, or just, one-to-one in a client session. That's what I'm about.
That's great. You should really track down Sergio Lopez Figueroa. It'll be in the AI summary that we'll capture on this. He has a program called Polyhum, where he gets people humming all over the world together, which is great. I love that. I'll share the details because you'd have a fantastic conversation with him.
I'd love
So
to.
excellent. Well, thank you for that great work. I love the way you describe it, exploring song and sound, word and wonder. That's great. Love it. Excellent. So wherever this appears, there'll be links to you and all of the information about you. So now, as you know, what I like to do is for our full members when we do the interview is to take you on a magical, fictitious year of culture. And I do that by I need to place you somewhere in the world. Okay. So I'm going to do that by asking you, what's your favorite building?
Favorite building. Um, I would say the South Bank. South Bank, the Royal Festival.
So interesting. That was somebody's second favorite yesterday. Um, I'm going to, I used to go and skateboard underneath it when I was a kid. Um, so the South Bank Centre, here we go. Where are we? Let's show those. I'm going to share the screen and show some pictures for the benefit of our colleagues who haven't been there. Where are we? There we go. So this is the South Bank. There's the festival hall. Um, which bit of the South Bank are you particularly drawn to? Is it the whole?
It's the Royal Festival Hall, obviously. I love going there, and just if I go there, it's one of my favorite places just to go and write, because you can see the river and you've got these incredible views of London. And I love also walking. I'm a big walker, so I love walking between, for example, London Bridge and the South Bank. I just love that whole stretch of the river. So if I'm in London, obviously there are phenomenal buildings all over the world, but I'm just going to stick with London because that's where I am right now. But yeah, that's one of my favorite places to go in London. I always feel relaxed there. There's this whole atmosphere of artistry and people, and inquiry and experimentation. There's often street performers and all sorts of things going on there, which I just love that vibe.
Yeah, we every year we do the walk along there at Christmas where they have all the stalls out. It's lovely working our way down there. That's great. So I'm going to place you at a table outside the Royal Festival Hall in the sunshine. It's 6 p.m. It's June. You're enjoying the view of the river. You've just been doing some writing. And on the table next to you is a book. It can be any book you like. It could be a favorite book, a recent discovery, a book that's changed your life, a book that's been with you all your life. So what book would you like sitting on the table next to you?
I think I would have a collection of Rumi poetry, Hidden Music, it's called, the collection. And I love Rumi poetry because I don't think you can ever read it too many times. It's got so many layers to it. I think if I had to just choose one, poetry gives you so much space for meaning, and you can read the same poem again and again and again. And Rumi's particularly is always looking for that mysterious element of life, whether it's the mystery of relationships and love, or the mystery of spirituality. Yeah, his work is amazing. He's a Persian poet, for anyone who hasn't heard of him.
And how's it spelled? R-U-M-I?
R-U-M-I, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. That's the book. You can have that.
Thank
And
you.
on the left, next to the book is a drink. It can be any beverage you like. What would you have there?
Oh, I'm going to have a cup of tea. I'm a tea girl.
I think we drink more tea in the world than we do coffee still,
Yeah.
apparently. What, any particular flavor? I've got my Earl Grey here already.
Yeah, I'm an Earl Grey girl. Sadly, caffeine isn't great with me, so I've had to. If I could have a decaf Earl Grey, that would be great. So yeah, but I love Earl Grey, absolutely.
Yeah, excellent. There we go. Now you're feeling quite pleased with yourself because you've just come from a meeting in the festival hall, probably the Elgar room somewhere there. And a very wealthy London-based family foundation have got wind of the work that you do, and this dedication you have to singing and voice and well-being. And they would like to hire you for a year, okay, to study the overlap between well-being and singing in another country, okay, and bring back what you've learned. Now it's very well paid. All of your personal admin and professional admin is sorted out at home. Friends and family members can come and visit you while you're away if you wish. It's first class all the way. You'll get all the support you need. There's a TED talk in it, there's a book in it, and there is a TV series in it. Voice and Wellbeing, working title. Okay.
Amazing.
All you have to do is sign on the dotted line and decide which country you'd like to do this research in.
Okay. So if I was allowed to have a continent, I would have Africa, and I would start in Egypt and then go west to Nigeria and Ghana, and then make my way down to South Africa. If I can only have one country within Africa, I'll start in South Africa, because I'm been so influenced by, well, all music and all voice and all existence started in Africa, basically. And I've been incredibly influenced by friends and mentors and artists from African background, Afro-Caribbean backgrounds, and particularly from those particular countries. And I've sung some incredible South African music, and the harmony and the way in which music within South Africa was used as a form of revolution, a form of solidarity, is very, very potent. And I would love to go there and really, experience that for myself firsthand, and learn from firsthand from the culture. I've been lucky to learn directly from some amazing practitioners, but I'd love to go there. And that, for me, that's where the beginnings of it all is. And that's where, if I'm going to start a book or start a series, it's got to start there. It's got to start.
Okay. Well, I've got the magic wand. So we're going to start in South Africa, and later in the year you can retrace your steps to Ghana, Nigeria, and then Egypt, and anywhere else in Africa you wanted to go to. Excellent. Right, so you're on the plane. Okay. The steward comes to you with a lovely pot of Earl Grey, decaffeinated Earl Grey, and a note from the Wealthy Family Foundation back in London suggesting that they'd like to do a little experiment on you while you're doing this trip. The first thing they'd like you to do is to limit your musical intake to one very specific genre of music. So if you had to do that, what genre would be your genre of choice?
It'd be choral music. It'd be choral vocal music. So, for example, I would love, if I'm going to South Africa, I'd really like to hear the Soweto Gospel Choir. And and there's of course vast amounts of choral music in the world. And because my work is all about voice, and I love hearing the human voice in harmony. There's something incredibly special about that. So yeah, it would be choral music. Yeah.
What's that lovely piece by Tallis that has something like 40 different parts?
Oh Lord, I think I know which one you mean, but I can't
Yeah,
remember it.
it's got a strange name, hasn't it? Because core that is just incredible. Let me just find it. Where are we? It was featured in a film called, I think it was Abigail, not somebody's Gideon's Daughter. It was a wonderful film with Bill Nye. List of compositions by Tallis. There we go. That'll be it. Oh, it's in there somewhere. Oh, damn. I'm not doing this quickly enough. If you search Tallis, you'll find it. It's wonderful. And watch Gideon's Daughter because it features in that. It's a great movie. And then we've already been talking about the choir festival in Riga, haven't we?
Yes, that's right.
Incredible. 45,000 in the audience, 16,000 in the choir, and they all sing. It's I've got to go next time. They only do it every 5 years, but that's great.
Wow, I
Okay.
would love to come and visit that, and and also the work of Eric Whittaker. He's one of my favorite. If I need to chill out, or I need to just calm my spirit, I listen to Eric Whittaker's choral music again, and it's incredibly moving. And so yeah, there's so many. I mean, we're just touching on a vast amount of vast genre, but there's so many places you could go to. I mean, where I live now in Crystal Palace, one of the reasons I was really excited when I moved here was because the Crystal Palace, when it was moved here from Hyde Park, they used to hold Handel festivals with like 3,000 people singing Handel. And just imagining that kind of scale of a choir gets me. I mean, I've done hundreds of people in hundreds, but not thousands yet. So I would like to be in the middle of that, like in Riga.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's great. Well, you've chosen a lovely genre. Nobody's ever chosen that before, so you're first there. That's great. And there's so much. You've got everything from Ladysmith Black Mambazo right through to Belshazzar's Feast, and everything in between. So that's a great choice.
All the Requiem masses, I love Fauré and Mozart's Requiem masses, those it's a vast genre. So yeah.
I think you've sneaked opera in as well.
Yeah, you could sneak. Yeah, there are choruses, aren't there, in the operas? I think we get away with that as well.
Excellent. So you arrive in South Africa. Where do you want to be? Cape Town?
Yeah, let's start there. That's
Cape
great.
Town. You're there. There's a group of young people from a choir who've been asked to take you under their wing for the first part of your trip. Standing there at the airport with your name on a card, they whisk you into Cape Town in the lee of Table Mountain, where you've got a beautiful villa to stay in. You've got staff, you've got a driver, and you've got access to a helicopter. They say, right, settle in, relax, unpack. We're going to take you out to a dance performance tonight, and then out to dinner. Now, it's a magic wand. It's a magic trip. So you don't have to stay local with your culture if you don't wish to. I can ship it in for you. So you've got the best seat in the house in a theatre for a dance performance. What would you like to see? It can be anything you like.
A dance performance. Does that include musicals, or is that different?
We'll probably touch on musicals a little later, but pure dance.
Pure dance. I would really want to be immersed in the culture that I arrived in. So I guess I would just say, look, take me to your most prestigious dance, because obviously there's huge South African traditions of dance. So I think I would actually be very happy to say, look, take me to what's the best thing that's happening right now in your culture, because I would want to learn. So that's, I think, how I would play that one. Yeah,
that's great. And then you can choose the national cuisine for dinner.
The national cuisine. Okay. Well, I really like Turkish and Middle Eastern food, which has obviously up in North Africa is a lot of parallels and shared dishes and cuisine there. So it may be that in South Africa, I don't know because I'm a little bit ignorant, but I don't know if they would probably, I imagine there may be that kind of mix.
Oh, there will be in our magical world. You can
in our
have
magical world. So yeah, and so I think Middle Eastern cuisine, would be fantastic. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, that's good. And then, so the next day, you've had dinner and you've been out for a dance performance. The next day is sport day in South Africa, and many of us believe some sports constitute performance art. We've just had breakdancing in the Olympics, for example.
Yes.
So, what sport would you like to watch for a couple of hours or participate in?
Dancing, I think, definitely dancing, different forms of dance, like you said, break dance. Any kind of dance. I would love to watch that or be part of. I have got two left feet, of course, but I really love salsa. So if they introduce salsa into the Olympics, that's good with me.
Oh, that would be great, wouldn't it? As an aside, and I like doing these, if you were told you had to try and qualify for the Los Angeles Olympics in 2020, whatever it will be, 2020 was 4 years, isn't it? So 2028. What sport would you try and get good enough at to be at the Olympics?
Yeah, dancing, I think. Dancing, I don't think I love dancing. I actually really love dancing. So yeah, if there was a dance element, for sure.
If there wasn't, what sport?
Oh, I do run, but not very well. I can't imagine being Olympic standard. I do a very basic running practice. They haven't introduced things like yoga yet either, have they, into the Olympics? No.
No, they
We have
should. They should. And Pharrell Williams wants to have a cultural Olympiad
right.
alongside, which they used to do. There
Yeah.
used to be until 1948, there was a cultural Olympiad parallel. So,
Right. Yeah, because I think for me, I'm not really that interested in competitive sport. If I'm being really honest, I kind of feel like I know it has its place and I know competition can be very useful to spur us on to excel. But ultimately, I think most of my life has been spent in trying to build collaborative communities and trying to, and competition can sometimes really interfere with that. And I personally, as a young child, was not good at competitive sport. I really struggled with it. So I feel that I would love to see an Olympics, which is just, less competition based, more about celebrating people's growth and the process of growth. And, I get a little bit bored of the formulaic competition, kind of, model. And I love to see collaboration. I'd love to see, okay, let's get all the Olympic athletes together and let's build something together. Let's build something that saves the world, for example. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? And let's do something really collaborative. So, not at all dissing the amazing athleticism that happens. Of course, it's extraordinary. But I think I'd love to see something more like that. So if I'm allowed to invent something like that, then let's go for it.
okay. Well, I've got the magic wand. So, yes, we can do that.
And that would include things like yoga, because yoga is non-competitive. You're really not supposed to be competing. So you're supposed to be in the process and the journey of self-discovery. So again, it's that I'm more, I guess, as a person, I've always been much more interested in that process than the competitive process. So yeah.
Okay, deal.
Yeah.
Now, in Cape Town, they have a new art gallery, a digital art gallery, which allows you to put on some virtual reality headsets and step into the work of famous artists.
Yeah.
Whose work would you like to explore in that way?
Georgia O'Keeffe.
Yeah. Georgia O'Keeffe. That's a new name for me, so we're going to have to share.
Her flower paintings are and pieces are extraordinary. They're just so beautiful in the colors, and she's an extraordinary artist, very inspiring.
Here we go. Here's Georgia.
Yeah. It's beautiful pieces, really. Yeah, the
Look at
colors,
that.
textures. Yeah,
There
yeah,
she is.
yeah.
Wow. Yeah, so that's Georgia O'Keeffe, if anyone would like to go and explore more of her work. There we go. Excellent. So you've been able to step inside, walk around the flowers in this beautiful um, three-dimensional 360-degree world. So
Yes.
excellent. Good. Um, Now I've flown out to meet you. Okay.
Hey.
Hey. And we're going to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, cultural week. Um,
Okay.
we're going to go to a pop or rock concert on Monday. We're going to do a theatre play on Tuesday, a West End or Broadway musical on Wednesday, an opera on Thursday, and a film on Friday. Okay. And you can choose what we go to. Now, these can be anything you like. Ideally, something that you would love to have seen but missed, perhaps. So what pop or rock concert would you take me to?
Lord, let me just think a minute. I'm just trying to think of my favorite artists. Ah, I've gone blank. Can I do the musical one for the main
Yeah,
one?
we can let's leap forward to Wednesday for a music.
And I'll come back to that because there's so many to choose from. And when you're a musician, they say go to one concert, and then my mind explodes.
Mm,
I can choose a musical. I'd love to go and see The Lion King. I haven't seen it again, but I'd love to see The Lion King. Um,
mm.
what was the other one? Theatre.
Theatre play.
Theatre. I love Carol Churchill's work, so I'd love to see Top Girls. Yeah,
Okay, we can do that. An
that
opera on Thursday.
opera. Let's see Madame Butterfly, of course.
Lovely. And a film on Friday.
A film. Uh, The Woman King
I don't know it.
with
What's
Viola Davis. Yeah,
uh,
that came out. I think it was about a year before Barbie, and yeah, it's just an extraordinary film. Really had a huge impact on me, and I would love to watch it again. It's basically about, yeah, a woman who becomes king, and it's in the time of colonialism. So it is based on a true story of a community that resisted, and a community of female warriors who resisted for quite some time. They held off European colonialists. And
mm,
yeah, and it's a complex history as well. It's a really complex history with history of slavery, and but Viola Davis, oh my goodness, her performance in that, and the performance of all the women, and the incredible choreography, is a mind-blowing film. So yeah, if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it.
I must. I'm going to scribble it down. What was it called? The Woman King.
Woman King, yeah. And
Right.
I was staggered that it didn't. I was staggered, but sadly it's a little bit predictable that it didn't get the kind of awards. It did very, very well at the box office,
Mm,
but it really should have got a lot more awards. I thought that
mm.
um sadly. But yeah, it was extraordinary, and it really was. Look, yeah, many of us were talking about it and impacted by it. It's incredibly yeah, the performances are phenomenal, the storytellings are phenomenal, and the whole creation of the world that you go into is mind-blowing. So yes, that's
Good.
and and I've got to come back to my pop concert.
I have a suggestion
Yes.
because you like salsa and so do I. Juan Luis Guerra. He's
Oh,
um, I've we've seen him live a couple of times when he's been in London. Incredible Venezuelan, I think, salsa artist. Juan, it's JuanLuisGuerra. Juan Luis Guerra.
right.
Fantastic. So we'll go and see him.
Thank you. I'm always open to. It's good to have suggestions.
Yeah.
I love, yeah, going to see something new. Brilliant. I love it.
So we're nearly there, but before I send you off around Africa to do your studying and the filmmaking and writing for the book, I'm going to give you a heroine day or a hero day. I've booked a restaurant for in Cape Town for you for a leisurely 2-hour lunch, and you can invite anyone you wish, living or not, and they will come.
Anyone I wish. Wow. Okay. Mhm. Yeah, that's a tricky one, isn't it?
Mhm.
One. Yeah, I think it needs to be, I think, yeah. I think I might invite Eric Whitaker. He's what's coming. That's who's coming to mind. I'd like to speak more to him about the way he composes choral music. And yeah, I'd really like to.
Okay. And as a twist in the tail of this one, who do you think Eric Whitaker would like to have lunch with you?
Oh, gosh. Maybe he could invite his favorite conductor as well, you know?
Mm.
So I think I would ask him, who's your favorite conductor, who's, choral conductor, who's really inspired you? And let's have them come along as well.
Yeah, nice. I like that. That's good.
And then we can all talk about conducting and choral music, and
We
and
can.
I can just absorb all of that and get blown away by it and put it all in the book. Yeah.
Perfect. I think it would be great to have Bernstein there.
Oh,
He came and conducted us when I was at Guildhall,
yeah.
which was great. And there's a lovely piece called The Mass, which very rarely gets performed because it's quite big. And we did that at Guildhall, and he came and conducted one of the rehearsals. It was great. I'm showing
Yeah,
my age and his now.
that's lovely.
um,
So lovely. And I mean, I would like to, if I had more time, I think I would go away and think about some of the first female conductors as well, because women are really underrepresented. And there is someone whose name is escaping me, but who I would also probably invite along if I could have everyone, because I think that, yeah, women have been really overlooked in that world.
oh
Um,
yeah,
and so it'd be really nice to make sure we invite a female conductor along.
yeah, that would be good. Have you come across the Chromatica Orchestra? It's a new orchestra. Their two principal conductors are both women. It's
Fabulous.
a new UK-based orchestra. I think it's London-based. Not that we need another symphony orchestra in London, but yeah, I've been going to look into that a bit. Chromatica, it's called. So,
Amazing.
excellent. Well, there you go. You're nearly you're back on the plane, and the steward brings you another cup of Earl Grey, and another note from the Family Foundation saying that the restrictions on your musical limitations to choral music have now been lifted. So, what would be the first piece of music that's not choral that you'd want to listen to that you hadn't heard for 12 months?
Wow. Okay, these questions are really deep. Not choral music. I know there is a life outside choral music, Katie. I spend so much of my time absorbed in choir music. Yes, it would need to be I listen to a lot. Again, something by some of the female artists. I think Kate Bush. I would listen to a Kate Bush song. I think I would listen to maybe This Woman's Work or Running Up That Hill. One of those. Yeah, some of her epic music. Yeah.
Yeah, it's that other lovely one. Is it Child in Her Eyes or something?
And with a child in his eyes. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, excellent.
Cool.
Well, there you go. There's your fantasy cultural year.
Oh
You
wow,
get,
thank you.
you're off around Africa. You come back. The TV series is in the can. You've been booked to do a lecture tour, which includes a TED talk,
Yeah.
and the TV series, and the book is going to be published as well. So there we go. Did you enjoy your fantasy cultural year, Katie Rose?
I absolutely loved it, and I want to make it come true now. It is my dream, and to yeah, do some of those things that, to go run around the world. And I suppose I've tried to do that to the best ability, to learn as much as I can about voice, and it's an ongoing journey, and I hope that it continues, and love to connect with people around the world who are similarly or have similar fascinations or want to share things with me about the power of voice in their particular setting or community. It's an
Yeah.
incredible thing.
Liz Howard would want to spend some time with you. She's one of our full members. She's she's a somewhat spiritual and mystical coach for voice empowerment. She'd have a great conversation with Liz. Right, if you've got time, we're going to play the this or that game.
Okay. Okay.
I'm going to give you two options and you have to choose one.
Okay.
Fast paced.
Okay.
Ready?
I'll do my best.
Excellent. It's always good fun. Sparkling or still?
Sparkling.
Mac or PC?
Mac.
Tea or coffee?
Tea.
Radio or television?
Radio.
High heels or trainers?
Trainers.
Peas or Brussels sprouts?
Peas.
Call them or text them?
Text them.
Window or aisle seat?
Window.
Milk or dark chocolate?
Dark chocolate.
Car or motorcycle?
Car.
Boiled or fried egg?
Well, I'm vegan, so I don't eat eggs anymore, but I did like a egg. I used to enjoy them.
Comedy or horror?
Comedy.
Concert hall or sports stadium?
Concert hall.
Cat or dog?
Cat.
Test the water or dive in at the deep end?
Dive in at the deep end.
Orange juice, bits or no bits?
Bits.
An hour in a gallery or an hour in a museum?
Ooh, an hour in a museum, I think.
Beethoven or Mozart?
Beethoven.
I'm going to throw a few more in now. Tchaikovsky or Rachmaninoff?
Rachmaninoff.
Elgar or Delius?
It's getting hard now. Delius.
You'll miss out on Gerontius. Mahler or Bruckner?
Mahler.
Yeah, me too. Shower or bath?
Shower.
Cooking or being cooked for?
Being cooked for.
Fiction or non-fiction?
That's hard as well. That's really hard.
Mm.
I'm going to go non-fiction, but that is really hard.
Sand or snow?
Sand or snow? Sand.
Shopping online or in store?
In store.
Reggae or salsa?
Gosh, that's really hard as well. But yeah, I love salsa. I love dancing.
Indoors or outdoors?
Outdoors.
Android or iPhone?
iPhone.
Start immediately or wait until the last minute?
And start immediately.
Science or history?
History.
New York or LA?
New York.
Early riser or night owl?
I'm a night owl.
Red or white wine?
Again, I don't really drink much anymore, but red.
Batman or Superman?
Batman.
Numbers or words?
Words.
Mild or spicy?
Spicy.
And finally, oh no, bedroom door, open or closed?
Open.
Loo roll, under or over?
Oh, I really don't mind about that one at all. I don't even know how, I hear people getting fussy about this. I don't know what it really even means, but let's go.
I know. I've seen the patent document and it's supposed to come over the top and down, but if you've got young children or cats, that's not a good idea.
Okay.
So ours is always under because the children just keeps winding up. It doesn't unwind. And finally, see the future or change the past.
That's very hard, isn't it? See the future or change the past. I think I'd change the past because if we change some of that, like, for example, I'm quite concerned about climate change. So if we went back and dealt with some stuff, then we'd have a better future in terms of climate change from that perspective. I'd go back and say, look, let's just not do this whole industrial revolution thing in the way that we're doing it.
Nice. I love that. That's
Yeah.
great. And as an aside, this was prompted by somebody I spoke to earlier in the week. What piece of music would you put into space for aliens to find?
Well, Eric Whitaker has created something called Deep Space, a amazing piece called Deep Space. So that would be an obvious fit for that kind of scenario.
Yeah, it's a good one, very good one. One of our members' pieces of music is going to the moon.
Wow.
Yeah, that's Sammy
Wow.
Talbot. So she told me about that the other day. That's it. I've just remembered what the Talis piece was, a Spem in Allium.
Of course it is. Of course
Yeah,
it is.
do
Incredible.
listen. Something like 16 different parts. It's
Yeah,
just, it's a washover, isn't it? It's just a wash of wonderful sound.
really
There we
amazing.
go. Katie Rose, thank you so much for being our guinea pig on this. I hope you've enjoyed your fantasy cultural year.
Loved
And
it.
like Desert Island Discs does arts and culture, I should do it on the radio. Um,
Definitely. You're fantastic. You're just so good at guiding through that. And thank you. And it was really, really fun. Really
It
brilliant.
was, and as expected, it brought out anecdotes, laughs, conversational detours, and surprises, which is great. Thank you so much. Don't rush off, but for the time being, thanks again for being one of our full members. As you know, we're entirely member funded, so that's what keeps us going. So it's very much appreciated. And wherever this appears, there'll be links to you all over the Tinternet, as they say. So
Thank you for your generosity and for all you're doing to bring people together. It is really your superpower, Mark. So, thank you for your generosity because it can be isolating for artists. We're not always, we are quite often in a sort of quite a hostile environment, I think, in particularly in this country. So yeah, I think it's really amazing that and very important that we have this solidarity and support and networking and being able to meet people is everything comes out of connectivity, doesn't it, in some form or other. So thank you so much for that. It's wonderful.
my pleasure. As you know, our motto is choose people who will say your name in a room full of opportunity. That's our motto. Thank you, Katie.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bless you.